Did you know that the greatest scientist in history grew up without a father, was abandoned by his mother, and had no one who believed in him? This is the untold story of a lonely genius. Hello, learners! Welcome back to Effortless Learner. I'm Kira, and if you're new here, a very warm welcome to you. This is the place where you learn English in a simple, natural, and effortless way, step by step, without stress. And today, I have something very special for you. We're going to explore the real-life story of a boy who was born too small to survive, but still became one of the greatest minds in the history of the world. A story full of loneliness, struggle, curiosity, and world-changing genius. So relax, listen carefully, and enjoy the story with me. Are you ready? Let's begin. It was Christmas Day, 1642, in a tiny village called Woolsthorpe in England. A baby was born. His name was Isaac Newton. But nobody celebrated, because that baby was dangerously small, dangerously weak, born too early. People whispered that he would not survive. But little Isaac was stronger than he looked. His life, however, was already full of sadness. His father, also named Isaac Newton, had died 3 months before he was born. Isaac never knew his father, not even one day. His mother, Hannah, had to raise him alone, on a small farm, in a cold, quiet village. Then, when Isaac was just 3 years old, his mother remarried, a wealthy man named Barnabas Smith. But Barnabas did not want Isaac. So Hannah left, and Isaac was sent to live with his grandparents. Imagine that, a tiny child, watching his mother walk away. Not understanding why she left, not understanding what he did wrong. Isaac felt abandoned. He felt alone. He felt invisible. And those feelings stayed with him for a long, long time. Isaac grew up quiet and thoughtful. He did not play like other children. He did not run. He did not shout. Instead, he built things. Small windmills, mechanical toys, little machines. Other children thought he was strange. They did not understand him. When Isaac was 12, he was sent to the King's School in Grantham. It was too far to travel every day, so he lived with a local family during the week. At first, Isaac was not a strong student. His grades were just average. He was not interested in schoolwork. But then, one day, a bully attacked him. He pushed Isaac. He hurt him. Something changed inside Isaac that day. He made a decision. He would not fight with his fists. He would fight with his mind. He studied harder than anyone. He rose above that bully in the school rankings, and he never stopped. When Isaac was 14, his life changed again. His stepfather, Barnabas, died. His mother came back. She wanted Isaac to be a farmer, to take care of the land, to live a simple, quiet life. But Isaac was not interested in farming. He found it boring. His mind was always somewhere else. Thankfully, someone noticed. His uncle, Reverend William Askoff, saw something special in Isaac. He believed the boy was meant for greater things. With his uncle's help, Isaac returned to school. He worked hard. He impressed his teachers. And at the age of 18, he was admitted to Trinity College at the University of Cambridge. His journey toward greatness had begun. Life at Cambridge was not easy for Isaac. He had no money, so he worked as a servant to pay for his education. He cleaned rooms, he served meals, he helped other students. But Isaac did not complain. He loved learning. He read books by great thinkers, René Descartes, Galileo Galilei. But he did not just read their ideas. He questioned them. He challenged them. He wanted to understand the world in his own way. He watched the stars at night. He wondered how the planets moved. He wondered why objects always fall to the ground. These questions seemed simple, but they would soon change everything. In 1665, when Isaac was 23, a terrible disease spread across England, the Great Plague. Cambridge University closed. Everyone had to go home. Isaac returned to his mother's farm in Woolsthorpe. For most people, this would feel like a disaster. No university, no professors, no city. But for Isaac, it became the most extraordinary period of his entire life. He called it his Year of Wonders, and for good reason. One day, while sitting near an apple tree, he saw an apple fall to the ground. Thud. Such a simple thing. People had watched apples fall for thousands of years. Nobody asked why. But Isaac asked, why does the apple fall down? Not sideways, not upward, always down. That one small question led to one of the greatest discoveries in human history. Gravity. The invisible force that holds everything together, that keeps us on the earth, that keeps the moon in the sky, that rules the entire universe. During those same 2 years at home, Isaac also created something entirely new, a new branch of mathematics. He called it calculus, a tool for understanding motion, change, and speed. 1 man, 1 quiet farm, 2 years. The world was never the same again. When the plague ended in 1667, Isaac returned to Cambridge. He was recognized immediately as an extraordinary thinker. He became a fellow of Trinity College, and just 2 years later, at only 27 years old, he was appointed Lucasian Professor of Mathematics, one of the most prestigious positions in the university. But Isaac did not stop working. He turned his attention to something new: light. He took a simple glass prism. He held it in sunlight, and he watched something magical happen. White light split apart into red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. A rainbow, hidden inside ordinary white light. Isaac realized the truth. White light is not simple. It contains all colors inside it. This discovery changed the way people understood light forever. He also built the first reflecting telescope, using mirrors instead of lenses. Smaller, more powerful, more accurate. Scientists across Europe took notice. Isaac Newton was no longer just a curious student. He was becoming a legend. For years, Isaac had kept his greatest ideas private. He was afraid of criticism. He was afraid of being wrong. He was afraid of being judged. So he wrote everything in his private notebooks and told almost no one. But then, a scientist named Edmund Halley visited him. Yes, the same Halley who discovered Halley's Comet. Halley asked Isaac about the motion of planets. Isaac answered calmly. He had already solved it, years ago. Halley was astonished. Isaac, you must publish this. The world needs to know. Isaac hesitated. He worried. He delayed. But finally, he agreed. In 1687, he published his masterpiece, Philosophiae Naturalis Principia Mathematica, the mathematical principles of natural philosophy. In this book, he explained his famous 3 laws of motion. 1, an object stays still or keeps moving unless a force acts on it. 2, the more force you apply to an object, the faster it moves. 3, for every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. And he explained universal gravitation, proving that gravity is not just a force on Earth, it rules the entire universe. Every planet, every moon, every star. Scientists across Europe read it and fell silent. Then they agreed. This was the greatest scientific book ever written. Isaac Newton became the most famous scientist in the world. In 1696, he took on a surprising new role. He became Warden of the Royal Mint, the organization that made England's coins. At that time, counterfeit coins were a serious problem. The economy was suffering. Isaac brought his sharp, precise mind to this challenge. He investigated, he reformed, he brought order. Thanks to his efforts, the problem of fake money decreased significantly. In 1703, he became president of the Royal Society, the most powerful scientific institution in England. In 1704, he published Optics, his book explaining light and color in full detail. And in 1705, Queen Anne knighted him. He became Sir Isaac Newton, a farmer's boy from a tiny village, honored by the Queen of England. But fame did not bring peace. A bitter dispute arose with the German mathematician Gottfried Leibniz. Both men had developed calculus. Both claimed credit. The argument lasted for years. It caused great pain on both sides. Isaac's perfectionism and stubbornness made the conflict worse. He found it very difficult to share credit, very difficult to accept criticism. Fame had changed everything around him, but not him. Isaac Newton's discoveries did not stay in old books. They became the foundation of the modern world. Every airplane that flies, every rocket that reaches space, every satellite that sends your phone signal, all of it is built on Newton's laws. Even today, more than 300 years later, his equations are still used every single day. He proved something that every quiet, lonely, misunderstood person needs to hear. Even if you start with nothing, even if the world ignores you, even if you feel alone, your mind is powerful. Your questions matter. And one great idea can change everything. And that brings us to the end of today's story. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned something powerful today with Effortless Learner. Remember, English becomes easy when you learn step by step with stories like this. Keep practicing, keep listening, keep improving. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and join our Effortless Learner family. Tell me in the comments, what story should we explore next? I read all your comments. Until next time, this is Kira, signing off. See you in the next lesson.